Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video that is a little bit different from what we normally do. And this is a huge news story that's doing the rounds, all about the convergence of Facebook, Instagram, and of course WhatsApp. People are making jokes about Whatstabook and really whether Big Brother is actually just consuming your data and spitting us consumers out on the other end. So I think it might be interesting just to have a chat about this and how potentially it could impact social media marketing. So one of the biggest rationales from Facebook's side, certainly as a group, is the fact that WhatsApp is the only platform with end-to-end encryption, which means in principle it's a lot more secure than, for example, Facebook and Instagram. But people are disputing this heavily, and I think one of the core reasons why is because the movement is spearheaded by Mark Zuckerberg, who we know has been shrouded in a lot of controversy around data security in the past. I mean, the big name that springs to mind is obviously Cambridge Analytica, but there are a lot of other examples where Facebook, or specifically Zuckerberg, probably hasn't upheld the standards which we would like to come to expect from a big social media network like Facebook. And so when the acquisitions were made of WhatsApp and Instagram respectively, we obviously hoped that this would be a positive move. We hoped that the functionality of all the platforms would advance, but we did, I think, certainly speaking for myself, hope that it would remain siloed. And the only reason why is from a data perspective, to be aggregating data from Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, it stands Facebook at a huge risk, obviously, or poses a big threat from their side, in the sense that they can do what they will with that data. And we know, for example, that Europe has incredibly strict privacy policy and laws like GDPR. We know that South Africa, for example, has the Protection of Personal Information Act, but we're not sure as consumers exactly what a big move like this could mean for us personally, and certainly from a marketing perspective as well. Because what we see, especially, for example, from a Facebook, is the ability to import either email addresses or mobile numbers and then use that to serve ads to people. So whilst people are not being individually targeted, we're basically using what they call anonymized data. So not personally identifiable data, but certainly data that identifies us as a group or as a segment for marketers. So I thought I'd just share some light, or share my opinion. I mean, take from it what you will, but all around this merge. And the first thing that I'd like to say is, obviously, I think people are going to be quick to jump on the anti-Facebook bandwagon. There was a huge movement last year, #DeleteFacebook, which may certainly then kind of trickle down to Instagram and WhatsApp. But I think it's quite evident that WhatsApp certainly would be a technology which is difficult to avoid, whereas Facebook and Instagram, unless you yourself are quite interested in sharing photos with friends, I think it's easy to kind of boycott those, whereas WhatsApp, I think it's a lot more difficult too. So I think it might turn WhatsApp users off, but I think it is so kind of endemic to our day-to-day kind of lives. It would be very difficult for us as consumers to now turn our backs completely on WhatsApp and therefore turn our backs on the Facebook family. But I think Facebook knows this and is obviously using it to its advantage, because it knows, as I say, WhatsApp is a lot more ubiquitous, a lot more relevant than possibly Facebook and Instagram. And certainly I think Instagram has a lot more relevance still than Facebook. So we see Facebook's numbers dwindling, which isn't to say that it's not still the biggest social media network. It certainly is, but we know from data, for example, from App Annie, which releases huge reports every year all about app downloads. We know in that instance, for example, that WhatsApp overtook Facebook last year as the most popular app. So we kind of always separated WhatsApp a little bit because in our minds it was messaging, but because of Facebook Messenger's now very advanced technology, it's all becoming very fuzzy and gray. So I think from Facebook's perspective, they can obviously justify it from an encryption perspective, which to us might seem like a thinly guised attempt at selling our data. But I think from Facebook's perspective, obviously it's a desperate plea to kind of remain relevant, especially with millennial users and users that only use WhatsApp and not the social media networks. So I hope you guys found this interesting in some way. The initial article appeared in the New York Times, but you'll see a lot of other articles doing the round all about this. And people with a particular dislike for Mark Zuckerberg have obviously been the most vocal. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of the whole Whatstabook controversy, as they're calling it. So please subscribe and leave a comment down below. And I would love to just have some more dialogue going on around this, especially a uniquely South African perspective. So I'll see you guys soon, and I can't wait to do our next video all together, which might be more training content and less kind of dialogue, but certainly I think it's interesting for us to engage in these sorts of things as an academy which preaches or advocates for social media marketing. So until next time, cheers guys.